Hey there, folks. Sparrows here, coach of the New England Eeveelution, and welcome to week 9 of the IBL. We are up against Shayquaza and his Dallas Starmies. Link to his stuff in the description below, as always. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. His team is so powerful. It is honestly, compositionally, I think one of my favorite teams in the league, maybe my favorite. I think he's got a real shot of making playoffs, and I think taking the whole thing if he does make playoffs. That said, he is on the bubble, which means if we knock him out this week, he won't be in playoffs, or if he loses in any of the following weeks, he won't make playoffs. That said, because he really is a huge potential playoff contender in our division, I have to be careful with what we're bringing this week, mostly because I think his team outclasses my team in the matchup. So we really need to be very, very fresh on our feet when we take him on in the playoffs. So this week we're going to be playing a little bit more riskier with our overall strategy and game plan going into the battle. And then also we're going to be scouting to see sort of what he thinks would match up the best against us, because he does have to bring pretty much his big guns this week in order to contend with us. And I just want to know what's his thought process when looking at our team, because as I said, everything on his team, down to the Basculin, down to the Reboot, puts in work against my team, and I'm really uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable with battling this team potentially twice. So yeah, we're going to be bringing a very weird team to help mitigate any losses that we experience this week. So with that said, we're not bringing Cinderace, which I think is my most obvious bring always. But I actually, looking at his team, Cinderace doesn't do too much to him. Obviously, Gmax Cinderace puts in work in places, but I think he can handle it well. And because he's got the Gmax advantage with Lapras, I just don't feel comfortable bringing Cinderace this week. Maybe down the line, but for this week, I don't really think it's the play. So what that means is our main sweeper is going to be Indeedee. We're running a choice scarf Indeedee, and Indeedee can drop a expanding force on pretty much everything on his team, and it dies immediately, or it can't switch into it and take 2. Obviously, Scissor is a threat to expanding force, but he knows it gets Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire actually doesn't do as much damage as I would like it to do against Scissor in a matchup, but regardless, Scissor doesn't want to take 2 or 3 expanding forces anyways. So if we can get about 25 to 50% damage on Scissor beforehand, we can lock ourselves into expanding force and not have to worry about it. The Lanoon is another issue entirely. I'm hoping he doesn't bring Lanoon. If he brings Lanoon, we're going to have to break it before we go for our sweep. Lanoon is actually very, very scary against this team that I'm bringing this week. Mostly because with Quick Feet, it outspeeds everything on my team, including the Scarfed Indeedee. With Eeveelution, on the other hand, it can absorb pretty much, I think, 2 or 3 Dazzling Gleams from Indeedee. So we have to be very, very careful with the Lanoon and hope that we can chip it down and take it out early before we go for our sweep. So in order to do that chipping, we are bringing a phasing Cobalion with Stealth Rocks, Roar, Toxic, and Brick Break for the Aurora Veil on his side of things. We are also running the red card. Essentially, my game plan is to do as much hazard damage as possible against his team. And that way, when Indeedee does come in, we're guaranteeing kills. Because, yeah, with rocks, Indeedee puts everything he has down except for that Lanoon and except for that Scissor. To facilitate all of this passive damage, we are also bringing a Regen Core, again with our Tangrowth and our Toxapex. Tangrowth is Assault Vest for special. Toxapex is our Fizz Def Mon. And then we also have a specially defensive Swirlix with Eeveelution this week, mostly to prevent him from just clicking Dragon Darts or Draco Meteor with his Dragapult, which is I haven't even brought up the Dragapult, but the Dragapult is scary. I have a feeling he's probably going to want to bring sub Dragapult, so we got to be careful of that. I'm hoping that Swirlix will at least deter him from clicking buttons with his Dragapult. We do have Sticky Webs on our Swirlix. We also are carrying Endeavor for the Gmax Lapras. The hope is that Lapras does damage to us, brings us down to like a reasonable low amount, and then we can retaliate with Endeavor and then sort of bypass all that health that Lapras gets from Gigantamaxing and not have to deal with a Aurora Veil / weakness policy Dynamax mod, because that's a real thing and I'm afraid of it. And yeah, and then we have the last member of our team, which is our Light Clay Vanillix, which is intended to get up screens for ourselves so that Indeedee is a little bit safe to go for those expanding forces, especially against the bulkier mons if we need to worry about that. But also nothing really wants to take a Blizzard too badly, or a Freeze Dry. I know Lapras probably will take it all right, and Scizor might take it well, but I think Scizor still is 2 or 3 hit KO'd by the Blizzard, so he doesn't want to switch into it, that's for sure. And obviously, if he switches into Blizzard with Scizor, that's just more damage for Indeedee to not have to worry about against this thing, and we can just click Expanding Force to take care of it. So that's the game plan. It's very, very weird, I know that, but that's what we're going to bring. For his team, as I said, he could bring anything he wants. I think the Sylveon's probably the least likely to come. We're either going to see the Salazzle or the Toxtricity, not both of them. I think Toxicity is probably the better bring, because it does have a better time of hitting both our Tangrowth and our Toxapex. I also think Rotom Fan has a similar role against us, because it does take care of both of our walls. And I also think that he's going to probably want to bring Defog, so I would imagine he's bringing it. I'm hoping he doesn't, but yeah, I think the Rotom's coming. I'm really hoping the Lanoon isn't. I'm really hoping. Reboot is probably not coming, and the Basculin, I see the Basculin coming if he wants to run a Swift Swim set to take on our Cinderace, which I'm hoping that maybe that's the direction he goes this week. I'm not entirely sure. As I said, he could bring anything in any combination. I think this is the team that I practice against the most, though, so we're going to hope that this is what he ends up bringing. Okay, so we are in, and it looks like he's bringing some firepower. I am worried about that Linoon. That Linoon is going to stand in between us, I think. I actually think I want to lead... do I want to lead Valiant against Scizor? I think I do want to lead Valiant. The no Rotom Fan is very good for us. That does mean this is probably a Defog Scizor, which I don't want to deal with, but we need to chip down Scizor anyways. So hopefully that means Scizor isn't running close combat. Maybe even not Swords Dance would be nice. We're going to find out. So Lapras, Scizor, Dragapult, Linoon, Toxicity, and Mudsdale. All right. Now this battle, we are going to have to keep a very close eye on all of these stat spreads. Fetus Yeetus. Interesting. So he's just going to lead straight up with his Dragapult. Interesting. I would imagine we're going to see a U-turn here. I kind of just want to go Toxic. I'm going to go Stealth Rocks. I wonder if he's going to go for a fire attack, maybe Flamethrower or something. He just goes U-turn, cool. So we do pop our red card fairly early, but we do see that he's got U-turn. So he does lose his matchup, which is nice. Now, I think I probably want to just keep Valiant at high health so that we can do some roaring shenanigans later. So we're just going to go straight into Rhodey here. Hopefully we don't get Toxic, but we do have the heal belt. Okay, so he drops off rocks of his own. That's to be expected. Hopefully, because we're running so much regeneration, we should be fine. I'm going to go straight for a knockoff, I think. I would imagine he probably goes into either Toxicity or Scizor. So I'm just going to go knockoff. We have a small percentage to kill with Leaf Storm, but I don't want to take that risk right now. He might choose to go for Toxic, as I said, but we do have the Heal Bell. Sweet. Hoping a Scissor, okay. So let's see what this thing is carrying. Akaberry. Cool. Now, I straight up kind of curious what he wants to go for. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Valiant here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Defog. So he swaps out Hunko's Gunk. Alright. I kind of wish we stayed in and went for EQ then. Would have been nice. Alright. I'm gonna roar. So we do see that he is leftovers, which means we should be clear to hit him with a EQ with our what you call it, our Tangrowth Roadie. Scissor was Akka, but you don't have Akka anymore. Because Overdrive, we should eat that fairly well. Yeah. Let's see, are you Toxic Orb? Not Toxic Orb. Okay. I'm going to go for Brick Break here. I'd be okay if he goes into Dragapult. This is the thing that I'm actually worried about the most. We do have to catch it on a Dazzling Gleam for the most part, or we just have to wear it down. Fetus. Okay. He made a good play there. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for damage. Do I mind though? I don't think I do. I have a feeling this thing might be Scarfed, which is going to definitely make things a little difficult. I'm gonna go Toxic. See Psychic Fangs, let's see if we can eat that. And we do connect our Toxic. Okay. So he's on a timer now, which is not bad. I'm kinda good, I think, with letting Cobalion go down here. I think we've put the damage on the stuff that we want to put the damage on, so I'm just gonna go for Roar. Okay. So I think good potential that there might be a Scarf on this thing. I'm going to go into Captain Vanilla. Nothing wants to take a hit from Captain Vanilla. It's kind of the joys of Captain Vanilla. I also kind of want to get off a light screen if I'm not being too greedy. Or Aurora Veil. Do I want to put up Aurora Veil? He's got Psychic Fangs. I'm gonna go Freeze Dry. Maybe going for the straight Blizzard was better, because I imagine Lapras is what comes in here. And then we have to deal with stalling out Lapras. But we have the Aurora Veil. And I can't imagine Lapras doing enough to... He needs to keep this thing around. I'm glad that it's not sub. It looks like it's Scarf to me. Okay. Goes into Boats and Hose, yep. So I think we are unfortunately going to pop that weakness policy here. Oh no, sweet. Okay. Let's just trade Aurora Veils. So he doesn't, he opts not, maybe he's going for Dragon Dance? Just goes Surf. Interesting. I'm gonna go Freeze Strike. It did a decent amount. Okay, good. I was worried this battle was going to be a lot more stally up front, but this is actually a pretty good fair trade back and forth. Yeah, we're going to see the Gigantamax. Which I'm cool with burning this thing's turns. I feel like I don't really need Captain Vanilla. These guys are, yeah. Do we want it for chip though? No. I don't. It's a critical hit. Cool. I want to run the calc real quick. Indeedee versus Lapras. Max overkill. Like 5%. It's not great. Yeah, we're just gonna go Spinelli. We'll see the... Oh, maybe he runs Rest. I think I want to take the... Do I? Oh, knock off. We can swap out if we need to swap out. Yeah, it does nothing. We do have to be careful that Psychic Terrain though. Specs. Okay. I'm gonna go roadie. We need damage on that. Oh, it does nothing. Oh, this Bedef drop's gonna play a role though. Definitely gonna play a role there. Okay. Damn. Swap back into Spinelli. I don't like this Bedef drop. I just don't. More damage. Rain stopped. Power him back up with that black sludge recovery. What's going on? Don't disconnect. Come on. Stay connected. Okay, sweet. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at is his side. He's got one more turn of Aurora, and we have 2 more turns. Cool. Honestly, let's do it. We can go in here, and now we should be able to. As long as he doesn't crit, we should be okay. Cool. Do I want to go Dazzling Gleam or do I want to go Mystical Fire? I think I'm going Dazzling Gleam. So now Spinelli's free to come in and drop Scalds, which is going to be good for both the Dragolg, or not the Dragapult, and the Mud Spray, and also the Scissor. Actually, for everything on his team. Because I don't really care too much about Quick Feet if he's burned. Facade's still going to do a metric ton, but... Okay. So this thing is Eeveelution. Just out of curiosity... Eeveelution pivot. Not definitely. Dazzling Gleam does nothing against this thing. Wow. Yeah. We're gonna go into Spinelli. We're just gonna hit him with a knockoff, hit him with a Scald, do what we can to burn him up. Toxicity is a very viable move. Makes me wonder if I should have actually gone into Roadie. No, because I don't want to get hit by knockup on this thing. I think we're going to lose. It really comes down to if we can bring this thing down far enough, which means we have to do a lot of switching and it has to take a lot of hazard stacking damage. So we're going to see knockoff, I think. Wish we can lose Black Sledge. Parting shot. Okay. So here, I think the play is we go into Swirlix on the Toxicity, because he's got to go Toxicity here. Man, I wish I had a slow pivot. That's one of like the big things this team needs. We're already 20 minutes into this game. This match is going to last forever. Yeah, I imagine we're going to see Toxicity come in. And that would be my play. So let's take a look here. Lapras is out. It's Eeveelution on the Linoon. Mudsdale, we haven't really seen much from Mudsdale other than Stealth Rocks. On Guzco. Cool. Yeah. So I do think the play is to go into Swirlix. Is that what we want to do? How do we take a... Say shift here, right? It's not it's the poison. Sludge whip. The 60 after. Yeah, we can survive. Do we want to risk that? Oh, that's not max special attack though. This might be a mistake. He goes sub. Ooh. That's gonna be annoying. That's gonna be really annoying. How do we deal with sub on this thing? On the plus side, we break it with EQ. But keeping Rhodey around is kind of important, especially for that Mudsdale. I mean, we can pop Mudsdale with Expanding Force, but that Linoon is kind of too big of a threat. I knew sub was going to be the downfall of this team. Shay loves his subs. We did bring a very bulky team too, so setting up on us is easy. Yeah, I think this thing wins. I kind of feel like we have to let him pop.
What is taking this so long? So Sludge Wave does about
67, and we have rocks on our side. So we're gonna see Sludge Wave. Yep. We'll take one. How do we deal with this? Why is it taking forever to this? Come on. Now, the question is, does he sub again? Does he sub again? Probably. I think the right play is to go in, set up sticky webs, start setting us up for... Oh, that sub sucks. Yeah, we're gonna see sub again. He's got a sub again. Plus side. See his boom burst. Cool. Do I endeavor? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Or flamethrower. It's 13%. Yeah, you go sub. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we lost. I don't think Endeavor gonna. Can it break the sub? Yeah, Endeavor doesn't do anything to the sub. I wonder if it put any damage on this thing. I'm gonna put up sticky webs. So I need to sacrifice Rhodey, I think. I need to sacrifice something. Sludge Wave, yeah. So we go down, we don't even get our webs up, which is unfortunate. Yeah, he's got the victory. Because yeah, there's nothing we can really do.
What does more, Scald or Knockoff?
Both not enough. Oh, it cuts straight through? That's actually impressive. That's really impressive. Alright. Oh, that's game. Lost to the sub. I'm really surprised that Rotom Fan didn't come. Oh, Hey, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. It's 5-0. Which obviously I don't love for my differential, but, you know. It happens. That does so much damage. Yeah. He picked this up just to mess with us, and there's nothing we can do about it. If I went EQ, I think that like third turn, we wouldn't have to deal with this, and I think actually we'd be in a very good position. But yeah, there's nothing we can do. I guess I could have gone into Roadie and like done another. There's really not much we could have done once this thing put up a sub. Having. Yeah, we'll see how long we take this. Probably won't live. Yeah, we won't live. All right, good game to Shay. Don't run. I really don't want to battle this team again in playoffs. Getting a -5 differential also is not great, but you know, it is what it is. We tried something. We tried something and it didn't pan out, and that's fine. Man, I don't like the 5-0 though. Anyways, good game to Shay. Check him out, and until next time, guys, take care. Bye.